make it.
There you go.
Well, let me know when we can do that. Let's go ahead and go to our next caller, though.
Sounds
Let's go
good.
I want to go to Tom here, calling in from the UK. What is up, Tom?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Going all
good.
right. Yeah, it must be pretty late where you're at right now, huh?
Yeah, it's a bit, yeah. So are you both ex-religious?
Yes.
Yes.
So how did you deal with the fear of hell, basically? That's what I'm trying to get at.
Great question.
That is a good question.
V, you want to start with this one?
Well, I think I have a different experience than a lot of people that I've talked to, because for a lot of theists or ex-theists, regardless of where they are now, the fear of hell is the thing that hangs on. So they don't believe anymore, but they will still wake up with nightmares. They will still have these moments of fearing that. For me, I kind of deconstructed everything and left hell far behind before I even started thinking about whether or not God existed. So for me, hell was no longer a concept, even as I was a Christian, because of just certain theologies that I ascribed to at the time to kind of make sense of where my moral compass was. So yeah, for me, the fear of hell went away far before I even became an atheist, which I'm realizing is a kind of a blessing,
Sure.
if I can use that word.
Yeah, say whatever you want. But yeah, so I mean, my experience was a bit different. So there's a video out there of me, if you've seen it, from Anthony Magnabosco's channel, where I do a follow-up with him talking about me as an atheist now. And that was the very first time I ever really talked to anybody about it, let alone just publicly out there on the internet.
Wow, so first time you talked, you're just like,
Pretty
Anthony
much. I was like,
Magnabosco,
you know
let's
what?
go.
I'll just get it out there. And the week that I did that video, I had this reoccurring nightmare of the world was ending and like a bomb was going to go off or, you know, something. And I could make the choice whether to listen to God so I could go to heaven or not to go to hell. And this happened several times the week of that because I was so anxious about telling people this was my
Yeah.
thing now. And eventually that went away. And I've tried to think about, you know, how did that go away? Like, why am I feeling better about that? And part of this is because, well, I'm surrounded by other people. I've talked to a lot of other people about this stuff. And talking about your anxieties can be helpful, you know, especially if other people who've shared the same anxieties.
Exactly.
Coming down to the Atheist Community of Austin, where I've had in-person conversations and having other people's experiences has been amazing because I couldn't talk about this with friends and family at home.
Oh no, this is taboo.
And so community is one way of which you can kind of ease that way out of it. Now, again, V was talking about, there's people who still have nightmares about this stuff years later, and that's just a fear that people have. And I realized that, you know, fear was also the thing that was keeping me believing.
Yes.
You know? And I had to let that go. I had to decide, am I going to go the way I am because I'm afraid or because I want to be honest with myself?
Yeah.
You know, and I chose to be honest with myself. And that took time, but I'm here now and I don't have any nightmares like that. And I have people coming to me asking, well, what do you do about this kind of stuff? It's like, well, yeah, you just find your own path with it, I guess.
Yeah, you gotta face this head on. And then also the thing, if you're kind of struggling with it a little bit, for anybody out there watching, the thing that really impacted me just on a logical level is, well, are you afraid of the hells or the tortures or the afterlives of other religions?
Yeah.
No, like I've never given a second thought to any of those. Why is that? It's because I wasn't raised in that culture.
Right.
It's because that wasn't the narrative that was given to me.
Yes.
And there are millions and billions of people out there who aren't afraid of hell because hell isn't in their culture.
Yep.
So the fact that you might be afraid of something doesn't say anything about how true that thing is.
Absolutely. There's a lot of Muslims out there. There's a lot of Hindus out there. They're not afraid of going to hell. It was never brought up to them. That wasn't a thing. Like, that wasn't an option. And so because it's an option for us as we've grown up in this culture, then we become more afraid of it. But when you realize how much of a cultural fear that is, I think it's easier to kind of let that go.
You're not afraid of the villains in the books you don't read.
Yes. I love that. I've never heard that before. Did you come up with that?
Just now.
Oh, that's
top of my head.
Brilliant. I love it. Does that answer your question, Tom? Oh,
Tom dropped.
Tom just dropped.
It's too late.
Oh, my goodness. Well,
Fell
hopefully
asleep.
he was listening. And, we gave our answers to it. So unless
Yeah.
he had more to say, I think that about sums that one up, huh?
I think so.
Yeah, gosh, the fear thing just really bothers me. I really wish, if people come to their beliefs and their conclusions based on their own logic and their own reasoning, that's fine. I hate that people come to it because of fear, and I see it way too often.
Oh, it's the best tactic to get people on your side across the board. Religion, politics, social issues. You inspire fear in somebody, and it makes them fall in line. So the bravest thing you can do is to question that fear.